is with T. Thank you for joining me here. Have a seat. I cleared off a spot. The only thing is, you're going to have to share it with my kitty cat. She's laying right there. Her name is Megatron, and normally she's this is my phone. The iPhone is strictly for filming on. I have one backdrop, which is a black sheet. If you want to talk about basic YouTubers, I'm a basic YouTuber. That's it. So yeah, just be yourself, be consistent, and just do it. That's the best advice that I have. The second question is, would you be comfortable talking about your child? Well, I think I have talked about my son on this channel, and I am only comfortable about it to a certain point. He is a grown adult. He's in his 30s. He's not a baby. My son was in a car accident in 2020, a very bad car accident, and he required brain surgery. And it's been a long process, and he has developed epilepsy because of the trauma from the car accident, the brain surgery, all of that. So he does deal with that on a regular basis now. That I don't mind talking about because I am in a group for parents of children with brain traumas, and I will promote seeking help if you have somebody that has a severe brain injury. But as far as his personal life, any of that, I'm not going to talk about him on my channel. If he wants to do that, he could get his own channel. But yes, it's just because he's a grown adult. I had my son long time ago, and I love him dearly. He lives in a different state than I do, so I don't get to see him as much as I'd like. Now, the next question is kind of to deal with that. Do I have any grandchildren? No. No, I do not. I don't think it's going to happen. It might. I don't know. Like I said, he's in his 30s, so he's still a young man. Okay. I think we're going through these pretty quickly. What is your biggest life lessons when it comes to relationships? Now for this one, I need to take a drink. I do. I needed to take a drink because I don't have a ton of experience in relationships. I've only had 3 in my entire life. I was married when I was very young, and that did not work out because I was young and he was stupid. Life lesson that I got out of that relationship was I didn't trust for a very long time after that. All I can say about that relationship was that has the same feeling or she has the same feeling towards you. That's the biggest life lesson that I've learned about a relationship. Physical attraction, yeah, that's one thing. But to have the trust and communication will keep a lasting relationship going. I hope that was an okay answer. Oh, and this is from my friend. And it's not a question, I guess. It's more of an observation. Thank you, Ken, by the way. He said, 2 more years until our high school reunion. I do believe that will be the 40th high school reunion. I've been out of high school for 40 years. That is a long time. A real long time. Oh, this is a good one. If you were to learn another language, which one would you try to learn? The reason that this is funny is because I took French for 4 years in high school. I can say the alphabet and I can count to 10. That's what I retained from learning a foreign language. I can barely handle English at times, so it's not that I wouldn't love to learn a language. I would love to relearn French. I would love to learn Italian. You know, that seems like such a wonderful language. But yeah, I think there's some component between my brain and my mouth. So yes, if I could, I would take French and Italian. Have I ever visited El Paso? Now that is just a random question. Have I ever visited El Paso? I think we drove through El Paso at one time in my life, but I never stopped in El Paso. So, technically, no, I've never been, and I don't even think we stopped to eat in El Paso. I don't. Okay, here's some good questions now. Mind you, I am 55 years old, okay? But I think she meant it earlier. Did you ever want more kids? I did when my son was little. I did want to have another baby to be, a sibling for him, because I'm adopted and I do have a sister and brothers, but I didn't meet them until I was in my 20s, so I grew up an only child, and I knew what that was like. So when my son was a baby, I did want a sibling for him, but I was married to a man that wouldn't be there in the future, so that's why I only have one. Second part of the question: can we get an ASMR video with your partner? I've asked him on many occasions. it wasn't a vase, but it was like a bowl, and it looked very oriental. I want to say it was a Rosenthal, but it was a very special one. I bought it for $1 and I sold it for $800 the very next day. So, I mean, I have found lots of things for hundreds of dollars, never anything worth thousands. But that is the best thing about going to a flea market. You'll never know what you might find. I had to take a little break and stretch my legs. If you don't know, I have arthritis, and when I sit for too long, my knees get stiff. So I had to take a little break and just walk around. But let's keep going. Okay, I love these questions, by the way. Thank you so much. I do have other Q&As, so if you want to watch those. Okay, this one is, I would just love to know how you figured out that creating this account and save space for people was your purpose. As you always tell us, it's so comforting to know that you care and that you interact with your subscribers as much as you do. That is a great question, and I have always promised that one day I will tell you how I came about my purpose in life. It's not a happy story, it's not sad, it's very, very personal for me how I know what my purpose in life is. I absolutely 100% know what it is. And how I started this channel. And my purpose came out during this channel. I started this channel because I was in a depression. I and sit with you and look at you. That's not what they do. I took it as a message. I took it as a message that I needed to do something to help myself. That's what I took it as. And the very next day, I started my channel. And this is a good one because I'd like to know if you have ever watched anime before. I know you watch Western cartoons like Family Guy and South Park, so I was curious if you ever checked out anime, and if so, what do you watch? Well, I don't know if you want to consider this anime, but I used to watch Speed Racer when I was a little kid. And to me, that's anime. That was my first experience with anime. I loved Speed Racer, absolutely loved Speed Racer. As far as other anime, don't. I don't think I've ever watched any. Now I live by the Rosemont Convention Center, and they have anime conventions all the time. So I do see anime people, but I think as far as a cartoon, I don't know, was Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh! Was anime or not. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! With my son, but I used to watch Speed Racer all the time, and I'm not opposed to watching anime. I would love to. Do they have an anime channel? I don't know. But if they do, I'll watch it. The other question is, I'm curious as what your favorite music genre is. I had to move my leg again. It is getting numb. My favorite music genre is everything. It is. I have a very eclectic taste in music. One day I'll listen to just Chopin, and the next day I'll listen to just Judas Priest or Metallica. One day I'll listen to Dolly Parton, and I just found, I think her name is Ava Max. I just found Ava Max. So, I mean, my music tastes are all over the place. I think if it's got a good balance of the singer has personality, the words don't really have to mean anything, but if the music said something to me, I'm in for it. My favorite song, I think you all know, is Beth by Kiss. So yeah, I'm just all over the board with the music. I'm just everywhere with the music. Another question. What's a hobby or an interest you wish you could explore more? This is a good one. Do you make more money off your YouTube than your regular job? Absolutely not. No. I think, this is what I think. Well, ASMR people don't make as much as like a regular channel because we don't show commercials during the ASMR, so I don't get that ad revenue. If I make extra money during the month, it's usually through a sponsor. Now, I try not to deluge you with sponsors, but if I do, it's because I want to have a good payday. But no, I do not make anything near what I make at a real job. If I did, I wouldn't have a real job. Now, I know a lot of ASMR artists make a lot of money. I'm not one of them. That's why I always ask you to subscribe to the channel, because that does make a difference. The more subscribers I have, the more people think that they need to watch me, and then when they watch me, they fall in love. So it's a win-win for everybody. It's a joke too. Okay. What motivates you? What is your most hopeful desire for the future? What motivates me? What motivates me in life is to keep going on. The motivation is to keep a roof over my head, food in my stomach. The motivations are to keep my family together and sustainable. That's what motivates me to work and do things. That's the motivation for that. What motivates me just in life in general, and I'll keep saying this, life can be good, and when it's good, it's really good, and that's what motivates me every day, because I know life can be good. I have bad days, and I have really good days, and that is what keeps me going. The thought of those good days. That is a motivation that can keep fire burning forever. I know, that's a great answer. Great, great question. Thank you. What is my favorite quote? I've had one favorite quote for the past 30 years, and I probably don't have it exactly right, but it is never too late to be what you could have been. It is never too late to be what you could have been. Now, what that means is it's never too late in life. If you want to be an astronaut, go be an astronaut. If you want to be a ballet dancer, go be a ballet dancer. It is never too late It's the way that you talk to us as if we are your kids. It's soothing. I promise I don't mean this in a bad intention. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. No, I've never been a teacher. I think the way that I talk, it's probably going to sound a little strange, but I am a very loud person. In my outside life, I talk loud, and it's because I'm partially deaf. So the reason I think, and I've always talked in this way, I guess, it's just in my outside life, I'm louder. I'm a gentle person, that's what it is. I speak softly. I'm a gentle person. I don't like to argue. I don't like to get angry. I like to look at the lighter side of things. And maybe that is what comes out when I talk, especially when I whisper. Because, like I said, in real life, I'm loud, and it's because I can't hear. A lot of people want me to do like inaudible and stuff, and I try. I can't hear when I do that. But no, I've never been a teacher. I think I have a calming demeanor, and that comes through in ASMR. Okay. Also, okay, how is your son doing? You really don't speak about him, but I pray that he's doing amazing. Thank you for that. Like I said, he does have epilepsy. He does have seizures. He is on medication. He does have a doctor. It's going to be an ongoing thing for the rest of his life. And all I can do is pray myself next question, and I think our last question for this round of Q&A. It says, when are you coming to London? I will be in London at the end of May. And I'm going to say that with fingers crossed. Because you never know what can happen between now and the end of May, but the plan is for me to be there right after my birthday and to be there for 10 days. Now, I'm not going to just be in London. I hope to go to Paris for a couple of days and see some other things. But as for right now, the plan is to be there at the end of May. And I wish I would have a meet and greet, because I know so many people in England. I know so many people because I'm a Whovian. I am a Doctor Who fan, and I have many friends of Doctor Who that live in London. So one of the things that I'll be doing when I'm there is doing a Doctor Who dinner type thing. But yes, that'll be at the end of May. Now, I know this didn't seem like a long Q&A because my questions are always essay answers, but I think this gives you a little information, a little look into my personality, into my life, into hopefully the goodness and positivity that I bring into your life. And we will do the second part. Hopefully it'll be posted this week sometime. But I know most of you are probably already asleep or have already clicked off this video. If you haven't, thank you for staying. I appreciate it. Now, I bit my tongue the other day and it still hurts. I bit my tongue in my sleep like that and it still hurts. But I want to thank you for all those wonderful questions that I did answer. And I'm going to leave this on my community page in case you want to add more questions. Because like I said, I'll do the second half of them and release that video sometime this week. But I just want to remind you that I do have a P.O. box now available if you would like to send me something from your country or drop me a card or anything. You know, I mean, it just a postcard that says hello, and I want to bring my P.O. box finds to the channel. I hope that you're